Hi everybody, Walter Bernardis again, and today we're going to be talking about the Sardine Run. As you know, we've just come through a very successful run this year, 2025. Lots of different action that we can talk about, but just to let you know, the bookings for 2026 are open and filling up fast. So if you want your place on the Sardine Run next year, be sure to get your inquiry into us and get your place secured. Now, traditionally, the Sardine Run starts in the Port St. John's area, the Wild Coast, around the 13th of June. We go there because the netting the pilot shoals arrive in our waters here around the 20th. That puts those pilot shoals in that area around the 13th. So we know from past experience that that is the time that they normally come through. As you know, we base ourselves at Port St. John's, and we are at Ntaba River Lodge. Ntaba River Lodge is the only 4-star accommodation in Port St. John's. It has a fantastic garden, fantastic rooms, very nice, easy access from a slipway and a jetty to our boats. And of course, the Port St. John's River is the gateway to our Sardine Run action. We've got to remember that we are spending 5 to 8 hours on the boat, and the conditions on the Sardine Run are not easy at all. Predominantly offshore winds, and whether you go north or south, you're traveling across those winds, which means you're getting wet. And the right gear is essential. So you've got to make sure you've got a nice beanie with a good quality splash jacket, at least a 5mm wetsuit, good fins, and mask and snorkel. Because when you are snorkeling, you need a good quality fin so you can propel yourself through the water quickly to get to the action. And obviously a good mask and snorkel is essential. What is also important is that the colors for your wetsuit, for your fins, must be as plain as possible. No bright colors, no silver, no white, no bright yellow. Plain blue, plain black is perfect. The other essential item would be gloves. Not just to protect your hands from the cold, number one, and number two, just not to have your white flashy hands in the water when there's a lot of shark action around. Okay, so you know, the priority for us on the Sardine Run is bait balls. How do we get bait balls? How do we get the edge on everybody else out there that is looking for the same thing as we are? We only run 2 boats on the Sardine Run, and we have an aircraft that is prioritized in finding us the action and dedicated just to our 2 boats. So that gives us a step up on everybody else. Those that don't have an aircraft, or those that do have an aircraft and are sharing it amongst multiple boats. So we have a very experienced pilot. Secondly, the team that we use is very experienced. We've got very experienced skippers, we've got very experienced dive masters that have done a lot of sardine runs, and we've got a very experienced pilot that knows exactly what he's looking for and can put us on the action. And that combined team, that combined combination of skills gets us on the action more often than not. You know, we get different kinds of bait balls. We get mobile bait balls, we get stable bait balls, we've got big bait balls, we've got small bait balls, we've got red eye bait balls, we've got sardine bait balls, we've got mackerel bait balls, we've got shad bait balls, we've got carantine bait balls. You name it. That's the amount of bait fish that's coming through there. It's an enormous smorgasbord of bait fish that's moving along our coastline. And depending on what the dolphins and birds are feeding on, we can see by the action, by the way they're hunting, what kind of bait fish it is through experience. And we've noticed that when we have a small bait ball, it is better to put a smaller number of divers in and use the rotation method rather than throw everybody in and spoil the bait ball for everybody. So, if we put a large number of divers in the water, we have they impact on the predators. As soon as the predators stop, mainly the dolphins and the sharks, then the sardines run away. We want to keep that bait pool together for as long as possible. And the way we do that is by one, limiting the number of people in the water, and two, by our positioning in the water, which will all be explained to you before the actual event. Our big stable bait balls, we can throw any number of people in there, and the bait ball one, we will still impact some to a certain extent on the predators. So we don't want to throw 5 boatloads on one bait ball. We want to keep rather put one boat in and then let them do 20 minutes and then rotate it and let the other boat go in for 20 minutes and just keep rotating so everybody gets a bit of the nice action. So we have got a lot of experience in this, and we use all that experience to deliver the best possible experience to the customer. If for some reason there are no bait balls, then we've got to look at other stuff. We have had some excellent whale encounters where a humpback whale has played, you could say, like a dolphin with a group of divers for 4 hours. We have had instances where we've seen super pods of dolphins, like 1,000 strong, maybe 7 kilometers long, and it's like a visual overload. No, stop it. If we don't get bait ball, there's so much other stuff to see. We've got pods of 1,000 strong dolphins that go on for kilometers. We've got thousands of birds feeding on scattered action, and that's usually on the suri. Suri is a long silver fish, and it can be a rugby field of dolphins and birds and everything just going crazy in the water. The sight from the boat on the surface is unbelievable. We've got Raggy Reef we can go to. It's not an easy dive. It's a bit fickle because of this position in the Mgazi Bay, so we don't get it clean too often. But when we do get it, it is a phenomenal dive. The raggies there are in their hundreds, and really big raggies. A favorite of mine to dive there and find the teeth of those raggies is to me a really great experience. Okay, so let's see, for your dollar, what are you getting? We supply for you the cylinder, the air fills for that cylinder, and a weight belt. We also supply the boat, which is an 8-meter rib. We limit our numbers to 6 minimum and 8 maximum. So on an 8-meter rib, you've got plenty of space because of the time you're spending out at sea. The accommodation is also supplied in that price, and all your meals, consisting of a buffet breakfast, a packed lunch on the boat, and a buffet dinner, which the meals are absolutely fantastic. The aeroplane that does the spotting for us is a dedicated aeroplane just for our boats, and is also included in that price. You get an experienced skipper and an experienced dive master to guide you to get onto the best possible action. Our skippers normally are Digger and myself, and our dive masters are Jason and myself. I double up as a skipper and a dive master. How do we get to the Sardine Run? King Shaka Airport is about a 5-hour drive from Durban to Port St. John's. There is an alternative in Umtata Airfield or Umtata Airport, and that is a much shorter drive, but requires a longer stay over at the King Shaka Airport to catch your connecting flight. So you end up arriving pretty much at the same time and costing about the same amount. Sometimes you do get bad weather coming through. You get cold fronts that we can't go out to sea, and then we can do other activities, like we could go on a hike up to the airfield. We could go and take a drive around to the waterfalls. There are a lot of waterfalls within about an hour's drive. We have the sulfur springs, which are a traditional healing place for the pondos, and we've just got sightseeing drives that we could do to Punskop and places like that, First Beach, and a couple of others. So there's always something to do, there's always something to see, and we are always trying to deliver on the ultimate experience for our customers that have come to enjoy and celebrate the Sardine Run.